Morning folks, welcome to McLean's TV. Look, I thought for a long time I was going to have to forget about this and let it slide, but I really can't because what prompted me to do this was that I met a Mayo man not so long ago, a few days after the All-Ireland final, and I says, well, what about that game? And he went, oh sure, what about it? It's only a game of football. And you know this, it really angered me and it typified for me what Mayo are all about. Look, I tipped Mayo to win the All-Ireland. I wished you had won the All-Ireland. But how many times are you going to go to it and not step up to the plate? Whenever I look at it, I think back a couple of incidents, well, one particular incident in the game early on. Aidan O'Shea below the Hogan stand with Darragh Macaulay. It was a Mayo sideline kick. Macaulay kicked the ball high up into the Hogan stand, came back and bumps it into O'Shea, and O'Shea just let it slide. It reminded me of what Darragh O'Shea was saying in the Irish Times. Look, and it's not a case of being dirty, it's a case of being able to stand up for yourselves. I feel that the psyche of Mayo just goes that you almost accept defeat now. How many times are you going to go to the All-Ireland and lose? It's just unacceptable. I just think it's dreadful. You know, you're such a great team, great people, great manager, fantastic supporters. Everybody in the country was crying out for you to win it, and what happened? You failed in the end. Now you'll go home and you'll try and lick your wounds by saying, we only lost by a point, we did this, we did the on. The bottom line is, you lost. And you lost in a game you really could and should have won, because Dublin were no great shakes. By the way, it was an awful All-Ireland final. I didn't enjoy it in any shape, matter or form. And I know I'm getting at Mayo here, but I also want to get at Dublin as well. Jim Gavin turns round and after the game attacked Joe McQuillan, the referee. Jim, you should be sending him weekend breaks in five-star hotels in Dublin. You shouldn't be turning around attacking Joe McQuillan after that performance in the All-Ireland final. And finally, Jim too, do not be like Joe Brolly trying to take the high moral ground of any particular sport and say that if my team were cynical, I would walk away. Because Jim, at this stage, a few days after the All-Ireland final, you must be at least the other side of the ace, because you've been walking that long since it. Dublin's play in the last 10 minutes was so cynical, all within the rules, not saying anything wrong with that. If those are the rules, play by them. All teams have been guilty of it. All teams would do exactly what you did. But don't be trying to turn around and say your team wasn't cynical. And the bottom line is, if some teams are going to be criticised for being cynical, so too Dublin. You're the best team in the country, you won the league, you won the championship, but I suppose the message is everybody is out there gunning for you next season. We'll see you in the new year. Thank you.